Hello, everybody. Welcome to CRAVIN IRON Podcast. I'm your host, Stephen Fiora, and this is my buddy here, Joey Brooks. He's a demo crew member, Action Sled Supplements. You actually own a supplement store now called American Macros, and you're from Blairsville, Georgia.
Yes, sir.
All right. So this podcast, I want to get our story out there, like average individuals like us that go to the gym and just want to make a difference in our life. And anyways, but the way I like to start is from the beginning. All right. So from when you grew up, where you grew up, how you grew up, um, you know, what hardships you had throughout life. And I know that your supplement store is now fairly new. And I know we talked previously about why you started the supplement store and what your dreams are for that and what like your future goals are. So I'd like to start from the beginning. So tell me a little about yourself.
Uh, Name's Joey Brooks. 41 years old. Married for 20. Okay, we've been married 17 years. Been together 21 years, just about. She'll shoot me, but she understands. She's my wife. She knows. My mind's all over the place. I can't remember how long we're married, but yeah, we've been married 17 years. Um, we got 5 kids. 6 kids. I'm sorry, six. All of them are grown except for two are in the home now. I got a 7-year-old and an 18-year-old at home. Um, you know, my background is kind of crazy. I shouldn't be. In all reality, I shouldn't be where I am at today. Just because all the odds were stacked against me from a young age. But it's just what you make of it. So I could go on for days about my upbringing and why I shouldn't be where I am today, but that might take a little bit.
Well,
Um,
we could dig into it. I mean, one thing that I love about this podcast is like everybody has their own story, and
right.
it's always unique. You know what I mean?
Yes,
So
sir.
everybody's unique in their own way, and
Right.
like what represents you, and that's like stories like that. You know, let's get it out there now because I guarantee you, your story uh, is going to attract somebody and is going to get someone's attention, and they're going to be going through that now. And then the way you went through it and the way you strived past it, that's going to help them in their life. And that's what my goal is, and that's what all of our goal
Right.
is, obviously. So, yeah, I mean, let's dig into it, man.
Yes, sir. So, okay, this would kind of go hand in hand with me starting my supplement store. I wanted to, I want to leave my kids something. It was always important to me. So, from a young age, my mom and dad, um, they had me, but they were split up by the time I was 6 months old. My dad was gone. Mom married a crack addict, alcoholic. So everything we ever had in life went to crack or alcohol. We lived in Section 8 housing. I was born. That's just the way I was raised in Section 8 housing, which is basically government homes. Um, Nothing personal towards it. I was never taught how to work, so my stepdad never worked. They both drew welfare. So I never really was around somebody that taught me a work ethic growing up. Um, I was just exposed to a lot of stuff at a young age. From the time I was, God, 5, I seen things no 5-year-old should ever see, but I seen it. Um, just If it wasn't for my grandmother and my uncle, I'd have never probably had those positive role models in my life. My grandmother, she would come get me every weekend, and she would try to teach me right from wrong and about God and all that kind of stuff. And she knew what my life was like. So she knew what I was around, and she would talk to me a lot. And my uncle Larry and my uncle Ronnie, they would talk to me a lot. They were probably they were the two most influential people in my life besides my grandmother. Um, I mean, we where we lived at was it was a rough area. It really was. Schools weren't great. Gangs were all into schools. So I'd go to school, show out, not go to school for the right reasons. I don't know. It was just a rough time growing up. So
And where was this?
Marietta. This was 20 minutes north of Atlanta. So um, me and my cousin, we were the stepkids in the family. We were like brothers, man. We had each other's back. And now my stepdad's sister, she would take us in, and she was great, man. She was diabetic. She lost her leg, and she had a paralyzed, or she was paralyzed on her left side. But so we'd go help her on some weekends too. And she was probably the best person in that family, because she knew what we went through as what we were going through, um, coming into that family, and she felt bad for us a lot of times, and she would stick her neck out for us. But I think my cousin, by the time I moved up where I'm at now in Blairsville, Georgia, in 2000, which was 21 years ago, and not long after I moved up here, my cousin Ronnie actually got shot and killed, um, uh, in a robbery. He got shot by a cop, um, when he was 19. He was about to be 20. They just got through doing it was like an armed robbery job or something they just did, and he got shot and killed in my mom's driveway. Actually, they pulled him over in my mom's yard, and he took off running in my mom's yard, and that's where he got shot. He died right there in my mom's front yard. So,
And this is the guy
um,
that was like a brother to you.
yeah, he was like a brother to me. And just in the last 4 or 5 years, I've actually brought myself to realize that he's, in my mind, he was always just. I never went to his funeral. I never went around the family no more after that. It was just in my mind, it was a denial thing. Like he's not gone. It was, but really in the last few years, I've really accepted that he's really gone, and he was. I mean, it was just we were just. I mean, it's kind of hard to explain, but we were like really best friends. Growing up, we were. Um, each other's ride or die. I mean, we man, we were bad kids, but at the same time, we were brothers. We ran away from home. Me, him, and his little brother Bobby. We hated our lifestyle, so we tried to get away from it. But then we'd end up getting caught and coming getting brought back home like 3 or 4 days later. It was just kind of crazy growing up the way we did, and we should have been. Myself, I was in YDC a lot growing up. A lot of uh, YDC boot camp. Um, and I guess that last time I was in boot camp when I was 17, that kind of gave me a wake up call. I was in there for 6 months. It was a little town called Milledgeville, Georgia, down south. It was a juvenile boot camp. Um, a lot of PT, a lot of discipline. Seen a lot of stuff I didn't want to see. Guys getting beat up pretty bad, and I was like, man, this ain't the life I want to live. And growing up, I always promised myself that I was going to be better than what my surroundings were. Not that I was better than that, and I think I'm better than anybody, but I hated seeing my mom being treated the way she was treated, because she was talked down to. It was just bad. I hated to see it. No woman should have to ever go through that, so I never wanted to put my wife through that. Um, it was just, it wasn't a fun life. So it made me think to myself, this is not what I want in life. I want better. I want more. I want to accomplish something somehow. So I had my first kid when I was 16. So I was married to my first wife. We were told to get married, and at 16 years old, I mean, you think, okay, we gotta get married. You think it's going to be cool, right? But it's we had no business getting married to each other. By
That's
the time we were not,
a very young age too.
yeah,
You got
yeah, we had
a lot
no.
of experience.
Yes, sir. Yeah. So I moved in with her and her family. And her family were great people to me. I mean, they took me in, they were great. But again, it was a different lifestyle because she was more from her and her family were more blue collar working class. And my family was so polar opposite of that, or my mom and stepdad were. So we clashed at first, and we had no business getting married, even if we didn't clash. I mean, we were both kids. I was 16, she was 15. We had our first kid. Um, by the time we were, I think by the time I was 18, I had my second kid. So um, that was tough. So me and her got divorced. I moved up here to Blairsville to get away from the crowd I was hanging out with, and to get away from her, because I knew if I didn't change, in order to change yourself and to change your surroundings, you got to get away. Sometimes you got to cut yourself away from everything and
Yeah.
just escape everything that you're around. Change your surroundings, change everything. So that's what I did. I came up here. I was going to move to South Georgia, where my biological dad lived, um, and kind of work with him and my stepbrother some. Um, Not that me and him were close neither, but he was better than my mom and them. So I thought. But I was going to move down south with him, and I came up here to visit my stepsister, and ended up falling in love with the town. It was a culture, a complete 180 culture change. I didn't hear sirens all the time. I didn't hear gunfires. There was no. You didn't see prostitutes walking up and down the streets.
Yeah.
You didn't see. You weren't hearing about crack. There wasn't no crack up here. Not that I knew of, anyways. I didn't see it like you seen it down where I was from. You seen, crack was everywhere.
Yeah.
Um, so it was a big culture change. And then I guess a couple months after moving up here, I met my wife that I'm with now. And me and her, it's just went from there. I got custody of my kids. She had her two kids. We had four kids overnight, it seemed like, and then at not long after getting custody of my kids, we found out she was pregnant. So we had number five there. So it was like we were 20 years old. No, 20, 21, 22 years old. Five kids overnight, it seemed like, but we made the best of it. And did a lot of odds and end things, drywall. Drywall was uh, my main job that I learned, the career I took on first. I did drywall for about 10 years. Um, and then the crash of whatever happened, the whole economy crash happened. And
Yeah.
um, right before that, I went into selling insurance, didn't do too good at selling insurance. I wasn't a good salesman. So then I went to work for Walmart and worked for them for the last 9 years, 8, 9 years, assistant manager. Did great with the company. I loved the company. But at the same time, the quality of life wasn't there because I was working 17, 18 hours a day for a company. And finally, on my way to work one day, I was like, I'm going to kind of put this kind of time and money and effort into something. I need to do this for myself so I can spend more time with my family. And that's where the supplement business came along. So
That's pretty intense backstory.
yeah.
I mean,
That was a shortcut. I could go on and
yeah,
on about more, but that's a quick shortcut of it.
yeah. I mean, I don't know. I grew up in I love my hometown, but the people in it, okay. So when people get on parole or probation or whatever, right, and then
Yep.
they get brought to a small town, right?
Yep.
That's my hometown, but I was blessed and very grateful that I grew up outside of town, out in the sticks in the mountains, and this is Lake County, California, and
Yep.
so there was just a lot of drugs and a lot of shit like that in town. But I was very blessed to grow up outside of town. But what sucks is it was all vineyards, wineries, all that shit. Older people. We had quads and dirt bikes. Grew up around that. My family owned 500 acres around just where we lived, and like we raced BMX, which is racing bicycles.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's called on your guys' side of the world, but
No, yeah, same thing. Yeah.
but no, well, so we raced and but it was just me and my two brothers that it was like we didn't have any kids around. So I mean we were really close and we fought like brothers, but everything we did was with each other, and then you go to school and it's just totally different. Like, I mean, obviously we had our friends, but our friends were, rednecks or, just guys that like to do what we did, but they grew up inside of town. So throughout the years, you know, you start noticing that your buddies that were pretty squared away in school, after you graduate, you don't really keep in contact with them anymore. Most of them.
Yep.
Well, a lot of them got into drugs and got into crime and all that shit. And we weren't raised that way. We were raised with horses and fucking cattle and working in vineyards and shit and helping around the house and the ranch. But anyways, now fast forwarding when I was I mean I stopped seeing people from high school and I started working at a casino for a while. But I worked graveyards and I worked there for 8 years. And
Hmm.
I started seeing, okay, and it was still in the county, but it was outside of my hometown. So every now and then you'll see one of your buddies that used to be buddies with you that I played football with. They would trickle in, you know, and just fucking drugged up. And there was one guy that hit me hard. It's Danny Newfield. Um, he was a lineman with me. I was a lineman in football, so I was a big fella. But we were like partners, you know, both fucking tackles and um, anyways. So he got straight A's in high school, fucking really squared away. We didn't hang out much, but when we were in school, we were buddies. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Uh, anyways, haven't seen him for like 5-6 years after high school, and then he finally walks in to the casino like at 3 in the morning, and I'm like, "Hey, Danny, how you doing?" He was all sucked up, just fucking. You could tell that he's been on hard drugs. He and I try to talk to him, and he's like mumbling. You know what I mean? He's like trying to communicate
Yeah.
with me, but I can't understand what he's saying because he's so high and spun. And
Talking through his teeth.
yeah, dude, it was rough. It was rough to see, and that was like a eye opener for me. And that's when I was like, you know what? Oh, and I went to Walmart like a week later, and I saw this dude standing outside or sitting outside of Walmart with a cardboard box that said "Help" or "I need food" or something like that. And I had to do a double take because that was another guy I went to school with, and because he was all sucked up and just you
Yeah.
know bottom end of life. You know what I mean? And that was those were like an eye opener for me, and that's when I was like, you know, I'm gonna get into law enforcement. And that's when I started pursuing um, being a cop in my hometown. And then, long story short, my wife moved to Havasu. This is when we were dating, and she was going to college down here in Lake Havasu, Arizona. And she wanted me to move with her because we were going to get married and everything. And I said, "Hey, I'm not going to move until you get me a job in the career I want to be in." Because I went through the police academy. I was going through interviews to be a law enforcement officer, you know, a cop. And
Yeah.
um, anyway, so she ended up applying for me at the prison, and I ended up getting a job there, and that's now my career. But uh, yeah, I mean, I just I understand the whole growing up in a town like that, and you start seeing that kind of shit. Like, I mean, I didn't have it as intense as you because I grew up out in the sticks, but with just my family, you know. But I mean, that's and you know, when you grow up, you want to change, you want to get your kids away from that. And it's, I mean, I'm blessed that we got out of that because if my kids were growing up in that right now, you know how hard it would be.
Yeah.
Just imagine our kids growing up how we grew up, like, or just in the same environment.
Yeah.
We'd have to battle that shit. Like in Havasu, you don't see any of it. You know it's here, but it's hidden really, really well. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, I mean, it's
And
nice when you get out
where,
of the environment.
yeah, yeah. And you know where I live at now is a small town. Drugs are still here. Meth, especially. Meth is bad. Heroin's bad. Um, pills. I mean, it's still in the environments around. When I did drywall work, man, you'd see people meth out of their mind. I mean, it was either meth or pot. It was one of the two. And um, I got one of my kids. Uh, they're battling it now. I hope for the. I mean, she seems to have come together and getting her stuff together, but um, she fought it at first, and that's where my daughter is fighting that. I'm sorry, something popped up on my screen. My daughter is fighting that. So the 7-year-old I have at home is actually my granddaughter. I don't tell a lot of people that, but she calls me dad. She calls my wife mom. We're going to adopt her. My daughter wants us to adopt her. Uh, but you know, adoption, and it's crazy. I called and said, "Hey, we want to do adoption. How much is it?" And they're like, "Well, even agreeing, and it's still so expensive. Even when all parties are in agreement, it's just it's crazy." I'm like, man, why so expensive? You know, it's
Yeah.
just kind of insane. Um, but so she's doing good though. So you know, these small towns still have their issues. I mean, it's kind of drugs are everywhere, and I think city or country, they tear so many families apart, man.
Yeah.
You know, and that's why, you know, I don't know how true it is. I heard about that Oregon thing passing to where people can do drugs or whatever, and I'm like, why would somebody do something like that? You
No,
know,
I
you don't.
heard about it. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't know if it's true or not. You know, it's just what I kind of seen it on social media, because I don't really watch the news no more. I don't watch the news. I don't watch a whole lot of TV. I listen to the podcast with Seth and Bobby. I try to stay around positive. I try to hear positive. I try to listen to positive. I watch a lot of you guys. Watch you guys' Instagram, stuff like that. But as far as real world stuff, I don't. I know a little bit about what's going on, but I don't stress over it. Because regardless on what the outcome is on anything, I still got to live my life, and I still got to do me at the end of the day. And I got a family that depends on me to feed them and take care of them, and so I got to do everything I can do. So I try not to let negative shit get in my head, because it wouldn't be hard to go down that rabbit trail.
Yeah, I mean, especially nowadays, like you're talking about social media, it's like you can't trust what you see on social media. You can't trust what you see on the news. Um,
Uh-uh.
I mean, so and it sucks to say that because I mean that's like one of the biggest platforms right now, just nowadays. Like I know back in the day we didn't have shit like that. Like we had MySpace,
Yeah,
but MySpace
yeah.
was super fucking minor compared to Facebook.
MySpace is pretty cool too, though. You could set up a little page how you wanted to, have your
Yeah,
music playing. I don't
yeah.
understand why it went away. It was so much better. But
Well,
I seen a meme.
what's funny is actually so I opened up one of my old laptops that I had way back when I was in high school, and it has this little click, or it has this little spot on there where you click on it, you go straight to my MySpace, my old MySpace page.
Right,
So I did that, and dude, it's so different now. I mean, they tried to like make it like Facebook,
right.
and I mean, it was cool to see my old ass photos and everything, but my music wasn't playing on there anymore. I didn't have flames in the background anymore,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. How
like
you had your old page layouts and everything. Yeah,
yeah. And like your favorite had your favorite like songs and favorite shit that would
yeah.
your favorite videos and they'd be playing in the corner. It's like they don't have that shit no more. It's like, man, what the hell? That was what was MySpace. Like,
That
you
was
know,
cool, man.
someone's fucking personality just by going to their profile,
Yeah, and that was so much. And I don't understand how the whole Facebook thing, because Facebook was never nothing like that at all. It was kind of lame at first, but
Yeah.
everybody went there, so I started going there, and I was like, but then I guess the guy from MySpace ended up selling his platform and got away from it all. So it was actually pretty cool. So,
Yeah.
um,
But anyway,
yeah.
so back to your story now. You have American Macros now.
Yep.
How long you been open with that?
So we have not technically been open. We open December 1st, which is Tuesday. Will be our grand opening day. We have been selling stuff like crazy. Well, not like crazy, but more than we've been expecting to. We've been putting everything we have into it to try to get it, just where it's at right now. I mean, we still got so far to go. We still got so much more to do. Um, we got so much more we want to offer people, but it's just been a money thing and just doing a little at a time, doing what we can do, because we still got to live our life. We still got to pay our bills. And I still don't want to take away from my family. I left Walmart, I guess, back in August. Um, and then I went to work for a factory over here in town, work overnight at the factory. And then I'm doing this in the daytime and still trying to do my workouts and all that kind of stuff too. So um, it's been a little bit of a culture change, because we did take a pay cut when I left Walmart. I want to say we took a pay cut, but really we didn't, because I was driving an hour and a half away from here, 73 miles one way just to go to work every day, and then 73 miles back. So everything balanced out in the end as far as that goes. But then I took on this shop, paying the rent here, trying to get the inventory in, just trying to business insurance, registers, just so much stuff goes into opening a store that I didn't account for when I said, "Hey, I want to open up a supplement shop."
Yeah.
It was just kind of, it was a need in the area though. So I don't even really know what brought it along. I remember listening to the podcast, and that was something that gave me time every time when I was driving to Canton, or I was driving to Franklin to go to work every day. I had a good hour and 15-minute drive one way, so I'd have plenty of time with the podcast. I listen to the ones about the guy with the suit company, and how him and Seth were talking, and Bobby and everybody. You just listen to all their backstories about how they only had such a little bit, but they took a gamble on themselves. And it just got to me. You know, I was at work one day and I was like, you know what, man, why am I doing this? You know, I'm sitting here working all these hours for a company that don't really give a crap about me, that the CEO don't even know who I am. And working for a company that I was telling people, look, they're taking your position away. You know, we can give you a severance package, or you can step down to another position. You know, just letting people go like it wasn't. You know, these were people that have been with a company 30 years, and they're just taking them away. And I'm like, you know, what's my value to this company in all reality? You know, so um, and then I got to thinking, what am I leaving my kids? You know, yeah, I'm showing them I work hard and everything, but what am I teaching them? What can I show them by working here? I want to leave my kids something. I want my kids to have. I want, in the long run, my whole thing is I want something I can leave for my family. I want this to be a family business. I want my kids to have stuff. I want to leave them something, and I want to teach them something here. And that's something stuff that I never had given to me as a kid, or as a child, or as a son, or something. My dad never taught me nothing. He was never there anyway. So my mom never taught me nothing, you know. And so it's just really important to me to, there it was a need in the area. The closest everything around here is online or Walmart, and the closest GNC is Canton, which is an hour and 15 minutes from here. So just knowing what our company stands for, what Action Sledge and American Made Nutrition stands for, the background of the company, Seth, Bobby, Mike, and Pat, Dean, Carly, all these people that are involved with the company, the elite are awesome people, man. You know,
Yeah.
and then you got you and Dante doing the podcast on here. Just all these great people. I just want to bring that to my community, because I know everything we stand for as a company with Action Sledge and American Made Nutrition and All American Roughneck is all about local community, being hardworking motherfuckers, just being good people, you know, and so and being family, you know, putting your family first and working hard and all these things. I just wanted, it just drove me into, why not a supplement company that offers Action Sledge American Made Nutrition, that offers all the the values that this company offers. Let me give this to my community. Let my community learn about this. And because it became a passion, it became a desire for me, each and every day. You know, at first I didn't, as I say, drink the Kool-Aid. You know, I was like, man, some of these people were just overboard with this stuff. But it's because I didn't invest myself 100% like I should have, because I didn't know how to, and because I love listening to Seth and everything, but um, I really just didn't understand a lot of things. But then, especially when the podcast came out, and then just really putting more time into the demo crew and everything, I was like, okay, this is what it's about. This is a family atmosphere, you know, and it's awesome. So really, between the demo crew, Action Sledge, American Made Nutrition, all the ones I just mentioned, Bobby, Pat, Seth, everybody, I was like, I'm doing this, man. I want to do it, and I want to take it out there and give it to my community, and offer Action Sledge to everybody in my area. And I tell people, it ain't, you know, you ain't got to come in here and buy supplements. You come here and just talk. And you want somebody to talk to, come talk to me. I'm not a counselor, but you want to vent, man, come vent to me. You know, I just want to be here for my community, and offer people a place to go to talk about nutrition. Because I remember when I first got into the gym 2 years ago, I was lost as everything. You know, I was, and until I ran into Seth, I didn't really understand a whole lot of things. But then you start going, and I would listen to his videos and watch his videos, and I'm like, I started figuring things out, and what was working for my body, what was not working for my body. Then I hired a coach, and he helped me out a whole lot. I had to get away from that because I had to cut a lot of things when I opened the business. I had to
Yeah.
uh, trim a lot of, cut a lot of unnecessary finances, and that was one of the things I had to cut out of my life as a coach. But anyways, that stuff kind of helped me out a whole lot, and really running into Seth really helped me out with the fitness thing, because I was just going in the gym, working arms out just about every day, doing chest. Didn't understand how to do a back exercise. I do a couple things, but now, you know, that I understand a little bit more, I break it down in the human anatomy, like, okay, what muscles what and what does what, what's a good exercise for this back and that. And so little more understanding now because of the demo crew and Seth and everybody.
Yeah, no, they definitely lay out a good platform for everybody. I mean, it's not even a direction, it's just like a way to start. You know what I mean? It's like a kick in the ass. Because I mean, when you're
Yeah.
talking about it, because like me, you know, my goal along with yours, we talked about this the other day, but I want to open up a gym, you know, and it takes a lot to open up a gym, but
Mhm.
I don't want it to be a small, tiny gym that only a couple people go there. I want it to be big where the community can go and, you know, they can see something humble and
Right.
especially this during this time. Um, but yeah, I mean, they when they're talking about it on the podcast or just on a video or whatever, it's like they're talking straight to you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what kind of gives you a boot in the ass to like, you know what? I don't want to work for the man anymore. I want to be the man. You know.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
so I feel you, brother. So we talked about goals the other day, and yeah, what's your goal? What's your like long term goal here?
So we got everything broke down into a plan, right? Me and my wife do. In 3 years, we want to have a second store in an area called Jasper, Georgia, which is about an hour from here. Um, it's another need. It's another small town, but it's a little more rural than this area is. But we love that area. We love that town. We want to have that second location just for our kids, and we can actually do more what we want to do there as far as we want to mix protein shakes at the shop. We want to do like BCA ICs and stuff like that kind of thing. Offer people whenever they get through the gym, and we already found a location that's right next door to a gym. We're kind of next door to a gym right here too. We just ain't got a place for the 3 compartment sink and everything. But we want to do that, and then in 5 years, I would love to have my own personal gym. I mean, um, that's the long term goal is to have a gym that you know that everybody can come to and feel welcome to come to, and not um, like you're diverse. Like the gyms we have now, you got you got one that's ran by the hospital, and we got ran that's kind of privately owned over here, and both of them are good gyms. Um, but I feel like there's a certain crowd that goes to this gym. There's a certain crowd that goes to this gym, and I hate that. I wish that as a community we all just kind of sink in as a family and want to do the same thing and encourage each other to do things. Um, so, one day I hope to have my own gym where I can offer things for power lifters, bodybuilders, cardio enthusiasts, or whatever else there is, and give it because high school don't really have a weight room. Give it somewhere where the coaches can bring the high school kids and say, "Hey, this is what we're going to do. Meet me here after school," or something like that, and offer a platform, some powerlifting areas, some stuff for the football team, baseball team, stuff like that they can do. Um, just just something for the community, like you said. It's all about the community, in my opinion. So,
Yeah,
um,
it's I hate to say this, but like it's kind of like when you go to a bar and everybody goes to that bar. You know what I mean?
yeah,
But when you walk in there, it's not a negative environment. And even if people are getting a little hammered, a little too, spun, people aren't fighting in there. Everybody knows everybody, and it's just like everybody can sit down with everybody and just have a nice drink. You know what I mean? And just talk, just hang out.
right,
I mean, that's what I see. Like, I want a gym, just kind of like it's pretty much like what you're saying. I want a gym that it's like that bar that everybody goes to and everybody knows everybody. It's like a family environment. You know what I mean? And
yeah,
that's what everybody's goal is. That is community based or community driven.
yeah,
Um, everybody go there and just feel humbled and be able to talk to one another. Because I go to Anytime Fitness and I love the gym. I love how it's 24 hours and the machines are great and all the equipment's great. But I can go in there and I've been going there for a couple years now, and there's probably like 3 or 4 guys in there that I talk to. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And if I try to go talk to somebody, then it's like, nah, they just kind of want to just fucking do their thing, which is cool, but it doesn't have that like family environment.
right, right. And I like that about this gym. That is something good I can say about this one gym that I go to over here. It does have a good atmosphere. Uh, I guess part of my frustration comes is like some of the people that do go there don't have respect for the gym, and the owners don't. enforce the respect for the gym. Like they leave weights laying around everywhere. They'll this one guy did leg presses the other day and left over 1,000 pounds just racked on the thing and walked out like it wasn't. I'm like, really, dude? You know, what if my wife wants to do this? And she's got a bad back, so we've been working on strengthening her back up. So, lifting a 45-pound weight to her is a lot. So she can do it, but you got 10, 12, 45-pound weights on one side and the other side. That's going to be a workout just for her to unrack the thing. So, but I'm usually there. But it's just that kind of thing that gets to me a little bit. It's like I wish they'd enforce the rules a little better.
Yeah.
Have people respect the gym a little better. But it's just something I want. It's just to attach my supplement store to a gym and have a kind of all in one thing, and uh, just my crowd and the people that I just offer a different option for people to go to. Not that I want to take away from these people over here, but I just feel like there's something missing. You know what I mean? And I just want to add that missing link. So
Yeah. No, that's a good goal. That really is. So look, we got questions from the demo crew.
yeah.
All right, and there's some good ones. I'm gonna share the screen right now. And boop. All right. So what I do on all the podcasts, I have 3 pages I ask questions on, is the demo crew page, the Action Sledge page, and the CRAVIN Iron podcast page. A lot
Okay.
of times they all answer. They'll all like pick one page. Say, I don't know if they communicate, whatever, but they all pick like one page, and most of the questions are on that. And anyways, this is that one page. So
Okay.
this is what we post. There's Mr. Brooks right there. And all right, so Christensen Lopez. All right, Mr. Push Up King.
Yeah.
Yeah. In your opinion, what are your 3 main principles of fitness?
See, and that he kind of got me on that one. That's again, I'm new to the fitness industry. As far as I've been doing, I don't say I'm new to it. I've been off and on most of my life, but really getting serious into it the last 2 years. So 3 principles. I'm not sure on what he means by that.
I'm thinking, because I'm not a college professor or any intelligent individual, but what I'm thinking is like discipline.
Yes,
You know what I mean?
yes.
Gotta have some.
Discipline is definitely, and that's something that Tony Davis, Dean got hitting on. I think I was hitting on it for a little bit. Is a lot of people say motivation, inspiration, but those things go away. Discipline is key.
Yeah.
Um, Discipline is really key because there's some days you don't want to do it. There's some days you just you're too tired to go, or there's some days you just like I'd just rather just sit here and just watch TV a little bit longer or something. But discipline is key,
Yeah.
absolutely. Um, and I do think motivation or inspiration would be something else too, because when I did lose my weight, I was at 267 at one time, and I dropped down to 208 right before I found a demo crew, and I was doing a keto diet, and um, I started inspiring other people, and then seeing me being a role model to these people. And I got this one friend, Jenna. I post some of her stuff on my page sometimes. She was at just in January last year. She was at her heaviest, and she's dropped over 100 pounds this year so far.
Jeez.
And yeah, she's done amazing. Seeing my wife, what she's done. My wife's lost 30 something pounds. Just just a lot of people that's come to me and say, you inspired me to start my fitness goals and my fitness journey. And, just talking to them back and forth about what to do and everything. And so inspiration was a big thing because these people saying that I inspired them, but when they come to me, they really inspire me by seeing them put their work into it. It's amazing. And so it humbles me when they say, "Hey, you inspired me." But in the end, they were ready, and I just happened to be a piece of the puzzle that just helped them get over that hump. So, um, yeah, I think, yeah, discipline is the most important of the principles, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's good. Uh, do you prefer supersets or drop sets, and for what muscle group?
Um, I do drop sets more than supersets. I do some supersets too, but like on my arms, I like to do supersets for my arms. Just like ping pong, go right to biceps, right into triceps, and then rest for 30 seconds, hit the bicep right back into the tricep again. That's the only one I do supersets on is arms. Um, Drop sets, I do a lot of drop sets on my back day. Um, that's the only thing I do drop sets on is back. Sometimes chest, but back day, especially on my T T bar row, or yeah, the T bar. I'll load it up with a bunch of 25 or 35s, as many as I can get on there. Um, Usually around 150 to 175 pounds, and I'll do my normal 3 sets. And on my last set, I do my drop set. I'll sit there and do my normal whatever I do. I usually try to do 10 to 15 reps. So I'll hit it, and then I'll drop a weight off of it and just keep going until muscle exhaustion happens. And before you know it, you're only pulling 50 pounds, but it feels like you're pulling 200 pounds because it's just takes a lot out of you. I'm doing them drop sets.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way. I mean, honestly, like it depends. I don't do supersets every workout. Like one arm day, I'm gonna do a little heavier, so I'm gonna obviously not do supersets on that. If I'm gonna chase the pump, I'll do some supersets that workout. You know what I mean?
Right.
But let's see. Next one. If you could pick anyone to train you, who would it be?
So I look at that so there's a couple of answers I have to that one. So like on a if I could have anybody and I had all the money in the world and they talk to me, or like I could get them to train me, Honey Rambod would probably be the one
Hmm.
I would pick. I think he'd be great just because look at the uh the book that he's put together, with Seth and Phil and Jay and Brandon and just so many people that he's trained, man. That he knows he's the real deal in my opinion. All the Olympias that he's trained. Uh, but Seth would be a cool one. I think also Kai Green would be an awesome one to train.
High Green would be
I,
insane.
it'd be awesome. Kai Green. Juju Mufu, I don't know if you know him.
Uh,
Juji Mufu, I think they call him on Facebook or Instagram. Um, he's pretty awesome. He'd be a fun one to train with too. But on a realistic one that I think that I've been looking into would probably be. Uh, I had a guy named the guy that trained Dean, got Dean ready. He goes by SMP. Uh, Jack. I can't think of his last name. Saved my life. But he's been a great coach for me. I'd definitely love to have him coach me again. Or Ross Patrick. Ross Patrick is the guy that owns Gaines Bakery.
hmm.
If you follow him, he'd be another one that him and Jack would be the two that I wish I could have train me now. Just because the proven record them two guys have, and they seeing that what Jack's done with Dean and seeing what Ross Patrick has done with himself and other people under him. So those would be two that in a realistic world that I could have train me. So those would be two I wish I could have train me.
Yeah, takes a lot of. I with trainers, I mean, you kind of get what you pay for. I think
Yeah.
I mean, plus you have prior experience, and the more experience, the more they're going to cost, most likely.
Yeah.
So, how often do you incorporate push-ups in a workout
Um.
from the push-up king himself?
Yeah. So that's one I usually hit for a warm up on chest day, or any kind of push day. I usually hit those, or sometimes I'm just sitting at home and I feel like I just start doing some push ups. I want to start incorporating push ups a lot more than what I do. I don't think I do enough push-ups. I need to incorporate those on a daily basis, like he does. I need to change it up and do wide stance, diamonds, and all kinds of different things like that. I think um, I need to start waking up and as soon as I hit my feet on the floor, I need to hit at least 25 push-ups just to get the blood flowing.
Yeah.
That's something I'm going to work on. That's going to be a goal for 2021.
Yeah. Ladder push-ups with the Smith machine. That
Yeah,
that's one of my go-tos. Probably like every 3 weeks or every once a month or something for like just a finisher for chest day.
yeah.
Yeah, it's great hits all body. Yeah, it's amazing. So if you don't know what it is, look it up.
Hit all the areas. Yeah.
Yeah. Your recovery routine, food, remedies, habits.
So as soon as I get through my workout, within 30 minutes, I got to have uh, my post meal, which is about 100 grams of rice, 150 grams of rice, and 6 ounces of chicken, or 6 ounces of sirloin, or a protein shake. Sometimes both, or I'll throw some eggs in with some rice. Um, so that's and then my water, the water intake is very important with the BCAs, the grind. I do my grind. That's usually my post workout habits is um, definitely you got to drink the hydration though, the gallon of water a day. And because I feel like that's the thing that a lot of people miss out on recovery is the hydration. Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Let's see. All right, so that was all for Christian there. Now we got Tony Davis. He's a Demo Crew Elite member. We actually have a
Yes, sir.
podcast that we started not too long ago. It's
Yeah,
called
Tony's awesome, man.
yeah.
Tony's great.
Well, it's called the DTF podcast. It's all.
Yeah,
So when I started listening to a podcast, and there was um like Andy Frisella has a really good podcast. It's called the Real AF podcast, and
right.
there's those longer term ones like these ones that they talk about business and just life in general, but he has guests on, and then he has those short ones that are like 15 to 20 minutes long, and they're really topic based. And I was like, you know what, that would be, and those hit home for me. So I was like, I got some topics I want to cover, and I was like, who would be an awesome person to have on there with me? So me and Tony communicated a little bit, and we both decided, hey, let's fucking do it.
Right.
I think it's going pretty good though.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Tony's, you and him would be awesome together. I need to tune into that one. Y'all have only done two, right? You said.
Yeah. Yep. And we
Yeah,
actually
I need to listen to those two.
yeah, we have another
Tony's great, man. He's a fun one to follow. He's all the elite eight are fun to follow, but Tony's just a real dude.
yeah. No, he's really humble, family man, just fucking
Yeah,
redneck.
yeah, just tough as hell too, man. How many other people could do the bicep tore by a chainsaw and then be right back at it?
No, I know.
What? Yeah, dude's a beast. Um, but yeah, all the elite eight or the elite nine now. All of them are awesome, man. All great people.
Yeah, they are. Yeah. One thing that Tony has that inspires me, and that just but not that this podcast is about Tony. Sorry, Tony. But
Yeah,
one thing that he has is like he's just always fucking humble, and he always has like the best intentions with his heart. You know what I mean? With all of his posts.
yeah,
When he's posting a message or anything, it's always with a humble heart. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Trying to build something. It's never for himself. That's one thing that,
yeah,
yeah, he's
yeah.
good.
And that's something that's here lately, and I'm not knocking nobody. I'm not trying to throw nobody under the bus. It's like as a demo crew family, we're there for each other, right?
Yeah.
And you hear people trying to get advice, and then there's certain ones in the demo, or there's certain ones now that's trying to turn into a money making scheme. Like, hey, message me and I'll message you, blah blah blah. And I'm like, do that on your own time, not the demo crew. It's just I don't know, not knocking nobody, not at all, because I don't want. I don't know. I try not to use the demo crew for my money making scheme. It's a family. We're here for each other. Um, and that's what I love about Tony the other day when him and John both did that. Don't be a code whore.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I was like, damn right, man. Because I hardly ever put my code on the damn page. I mean, hell, it's like Tony said, everybody's got. You're part of demo crew. Everybody's got a damn code, So
Yeah.
it's
And
kind
like
of
when someone's asking, hey, so when do you take hydraulic gear versus like seventh gear? Or do you take it together? Then the first fucking person commenting on that, not Diamond,
puts their code on it.
it's like, oh, hey, if you have any questions, message me. Here's my code. It's like, dude, this guy's part of
Yeah.
the demo crew. He has a code to use. You
Yeah. Here's your
know?
sign, man.
But I mean,
Yeah, nothing personal.
and there's an Axe and Sledge page as well, and it's like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's like Tony said, like you're the first two, you might get your code used, but that post is like 2 hours long. Forget about it. Don't even respond with your code on there because they done bought their stuff and it's already been packed and almost shipped. So
Yeah, and someone has a question about the protein or the digestive system with the protein
yeah,
or the digestive enzyme in the protein, and you look on there and oh, hey, there's 200 comments. That's pretty cool. I wonder what people answered, and then
yeah,
I'll fucking go to it and there's 200 codes.
yeah.
It's like,
It's like, really, man?
even if it was first
Jeez.
come first serve, that was like 200 or that was 199 posts ago. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you got that one guy. Well, maybe they didn't see it. They're gonna still get mine a day later. I'm a day late to this party, but I'm gonna still put my code on there.
Yeah, yeah. But you know
Man,
what?
it's nothing personal. Hey, love them all.
Yeah, yeah,
It's fun. It's all fun and games.
yeah. No, it is, and there's a lot of people that are striving with it. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people that are popping up there and they're fucking killing it. So
Yeah,
I'm
they
proud of
are.
every one of them that are joining.
Me too. Me too. And
Anyway,
they're excited. In all reality, they're excited. They got a code. I know when I first got it. I guess it was the first week they released June. I got mine June 20th of 2019. So um, I thought it was pretty damn awesome. And I didn't. The problem was I wish I would have known more. I wish I kind of known how to promote it more like I do now. Um, I was just I was going around telling my family and friends about it. I wasn't really using social media platforms. I was selling a little bit here, a little bit there, but not nothing to really turn no heads. So
yeah.
um, I really wish I'd have incorporated social media a lot better than what I did. So
Well, I mean, it's a learning process too. I mean, like my biggest thing was I didn't do videos very. Actually, I didn't post at all very often, and so my code sat there and I used it,
yeah,
like just my 10% discount. But then once I started getting into it more, and I started, I joined the demo crew Facebook page or the group, and I mean, like once you start seeing how everybody else is doing it, you just kind of implement it, and then you find your own way of doing it.
yeah,
It's just like when you start a new job. Obviously, you're going to learn from somebody like an FTO or just someone that's going to train you, and you're going to be doing it their way for a little bit. But then eventually, you're going to implement it into your own way, your own process.
put your personality to it.
Yeah, and that's just like social media or doing the promotion of as a demo crew member is. I mean, you're going to find your own way to promote it, and it's going to work for you if you're being honest about it and
Right,
being yourself. And then you're gonna find out you have your own unique way of doing it, and that's what's gonna draw people to you.
right.
So
That's where I felt like I struggled at a lot was
yeah,
that social media platform. But when they announced the Elite Eight, I was like, man, that is so freaking awesome. These guys must be killing it with sales. But Dean, I mean, they are making their sales, I'm sure. But Dean said, no, these are people that just set themselves, apart from everybody, and it was just about how they represented the company and what they were doing and social media wise and stuff like that. And I was like, okay. So then I started trying to figure out what I could do um, to bring my own self without mimicking somebody, And so that's when I started doing my workouts on my storyline and then just going from there. And um, yeah, then just got hungry and opened up a shop.
yeah, you gotta stay hungry.
Yeah, got to stay hungry.
All right, so Tony Davis asks, why a supplement company? What turned you on to wanting to sell supplements? Even though he spells sell with an extra L, that's fine, Tony. You're right. But Always your dream or a realization later in life? P.S. You're killing it, bro. Respect.
That was, again, it was just a realization within the last year that I seen it was a need in our area. Again, about the community, what I could offer the community. Um, I love this company. I love 4DH. I love Dean. I mean, I'm such a huge fan of Carly, Dean, just everybody in the demo crew, like we talked about earlier in the podcast. Um, I just want other people I want to offer that to my community, and I want other people to um, buy into what we're doing, because it's so much more than just protein and pre workouts. It's just being good damn people,
Yeah.
and offering that positivity. And as bad as you think you got it, there's people out there with worse problems than you. Just like Seth says, we don't have problems. We just got more work to do. We're fortunate. I get to wake up every day. My kids are healthy. My wife is healthy. Um, there's kids out there battling cancer, like little Chloe or Zoe,
Zoe.
little Zoe. You know, I'd hate that. That's problems. I got the lady that I rent from. She was just diagnosed with a brain tumor. It seemed like it happened overnight. She had a headache. She went to the doctor. Doctor said nothing, and it got really bad. She went back to the hospital. They found a brain tumor. Ended up bringing they took the brain tumor out, but it's a cancer cell in her brain that's not curable. And she has kids. She's got a 17-year-old and a 16-year-old or 15-year-old, and she's just a good person, man. It's like we don't have problems, man. We just got work to do. These people have problems. They're one day they're healthy, next day they're find out they're fighting for their life. These people have real problems. We don't have problems. We just got some challenges and some work to do.
Yep. Yep. uh, so Paul Sanders, demo crew member. I mean, they're all demo crew. I don't need to say that.
Yes, yes, sir.
But so Paul, I just wanted to say something about Paul. Okay. Um, I don't know if people know this, but Paul, big shout out to you, brother. What he's been doing on Instagram is he'll find a demo crew member and it's like he researches the little backstory of what you're going into and what you're doing in life, right?
Right,
And what he'll do is he'll share it on a story and he'll make a post about it. And it's pretty much saying, hey, this guy, he's doing this with his life. He's a family man. He has this and that. Um, and he's a real hardworking motherfucker. And just like all love, you know what I mean? Just straight towards whoever he chose for that time period. And he'll share it on a story and he'll say, hey, if you're not following this guy, you need to follow him because he's inspiring and this and that, right? Just
right,
super humble. Okay. And the only reason why I know that is because he picked me the other like a couple weeks ago, maybe. And
right,
anyways, it was on a story, and I'm like, huh. And he made this like nice storyline thing about everything I'm doing, stuff that I mean, I didn't even know he did. I didn't even know that he knew I did. You know what I mean? Even though we're all pretty much family and we all know everything about each other, and even when,
right.
yeah, but
Yeah, he's awesome, man. Me and him's talked a couple of times. He's a really great guy.
yeah. So I mean, mad respect, Paul. I mean, I'm happy to see what you're doing there. It's really cool, you know. So
Absolutely.
anyway, so from Paul, what got you started with fitness and the weights? What is your why?
So I don't tell a lot of people about this, but a couple years ago, me and my wife kind of split up. I was at a spot in life I didn't want to be in. Uh, Unhealthy eating habits. Just a shitty situation. Couldn't. I went to go tie my shoe, man, and you'd get up and you almost pass out because you couldn't breathe. Because it was just that bad. And just looking at yourself in the mirror, you just disgusted with yourself. And knowing my family hereditary, the heart disease that runs in my family, and just all these different things that I keep hearing in my family. Um, I was like, you know what, man, I got to do better than this. I got a little girl that's looking up to me to be dad. I want to teach her. I want to show my kids. I want to show my wife. I want to show people that I'm a better person than the effort that I'm putting into myself. Um, So because whenever I had issues, I just eat. You know what I mean? Like managing what I was doing at the store, just or when I was managing at Walmart, it was grab fast food, stuff your face, go back to work. So I wasn't being a really positive role model for my family, and I definitely wasn't being a positive person on myself. So I just got tired of being that person, and I just wanted to do a whole 180 and really reevaluate my life and change it. So I started with fitness, I started with lifting weights, and I started with my eating habits. I cut the sugars out, cut the Pepsi or Mountain Dews out. I cut all that kind of stuff out, and started really applying myself better to better eating habits, drinking water, and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, just got tired of being the person I was at the time.
Yeah.
Just want to be a better dad, a better role model.
Yeah. Billy Weissenstein. Weissenstein.
Yeah.
Anyways, another Demo Crew Elite member. What
Yes,
is one?
sir.
Yeah. What is one thing you can take away from 2020? Of all the negative things happening with 2020, have there been some positive for you? Positives. Sorry.
Yeah. So in 2020, fortunately, I live in Georgia. Okay. So our governor stuck by his word. He only shut us down for 2 weeks and he opened us back up. Um, I haven't been through the long shutdown process like a lot of other guys have been, a lot of other demo crew families been through. Um, in Georgia, it just seems like night and day from what I hear described on TV. It's just so much different, you know. So yeah, you got the mask you got to wear when you go out in public at some places like Walmart and grocery stores and stuff, but I still don't. I'm rebellious. I don't wear mine. Um, uh,
You rebel.
I just yeah, I just working at Walmart, I was like, man, this is the biggest shit show in the world. Nothing personal towards Walmart, but I was like, it was just the biggest shit show. I mean, like, this mask is not protecting us from nothing. If anything, it's causing more harm breathing in this thing all day because all you're doing is breathing back in carbon monoxide. So, and it's almost like Seth said too. It's not OSHA approved mask. So, I mean, what really are you yeah. Anyways, so I haven't really had a lot of bad in 2020 go on. So it's been nothing but positivity for me. Again, 2020 is I look at 2020 as a great year, especially with Action Sledge and the demo crew and um, the way that I really found come around to myself as a dad and a husband and um, 2020 has been a great year. I mean, yeah, there's been some bullshit going on, but I didn't never let it get me down. I've always just tried to look for the better things in life, and we me and my wife got together. We're still paying our bills and still feeding our family, and but we as retail workers, so of course we worked through the whole pandemic. Um, but we just it's I guess it's taught me the value of my family though. Is um because at first, when 2020 and the pandemic first hit, everybody was kind of scared. We didn't know what was going on. I remember I had my demo crew meetup card. I was ready to go do the thing at the Arnold with the demo crew meet. Um, and then that got canceled, and I was like, man, this coronavirus is serious. They canceled that, and then all of a sudden, all this other stuff just started trickling right behind it. All this stuff started canceling. So um, that was the only time of the year that I could say it was bad. Was at first it was kind of scary. I was worried about my family, but then all the numbers started coming out and all the facts started coming out about everything, and statistics started running out, and it was like, so I stopped paying attention to the negative side of things. I started looking at the positives, and 2020 has been a good year for me. I can't say that it's really been that many bad things happen. So I wish there was a better answer I had for that question.
No, that's pretty spot on. Me personally, I didn't really. The only thing that affected me is at my work. Obviously, we shut the yards down, and
Right.
everybody was locked up for like the whole year, and that just raises tension on the yard with the inmates because they live there and they have to be locked down most of the day. And um, but I mean, a lot of shit changed at work. Drives me crazy when you go into town and you have people saying, "Hey, you can't shop here unless you put a mask on." It's not really so much in Lake Havasu, but when I go visit family in California, which that's one thing I can say is transportation to visit family that kind of
Yeah.
got put on hold for a little bit, just because I mean, I look at it a little differently than my wife does, and like I see the facts and all that shit, but my wife, even with the facts and everything, you still don't know 100%, you know.
Right.
So my wife was thinking about the kid, and I was thinking about the kids too, but so we didn't really travel much this year like we usually do. We usually visit the family a couple times a year, and they're 14 hours away. My side of the family, my wife's family's here, but anyways, we didn't really get to visit them that much this year. And when we did go visit them, it was June, I believe it was in June. Um, it was like night and day. Lake Havasu opened up, Arizona pretty much opened up in Mojave County at least,
Yeah.
and we ended up going to California, and just the first fucking gas station we get to, they're like, "Hey, you need a mask." I'm like, "What do you mean we fucking need a mask? Like, we don't need a mask anywhere in Arizona." And
Right.
and then I go to buy something. I'm like, "Look, I don't have a mask," and um, I go to buy something. He's like, "Hey, look, I can't let you buy that unless you put a mask on." I'm like, "You fucking kidding me? I already walked through your whole damn store, you know." Anyway,
I just, yeah, it's just loose business in my opinion.
yeah, it was a couple snacks and shit, and it was probably like $3 worth of shit, and so I just ended up putting a 5 on the counter and walking out, and said fuck that.
Yeah.
But it was just night and day, you know, just from Arizona to California. But I mean, that's like the only negative thing I can see, other than people dying that did die. Um,
Yeah.
but numbers are out, so it wasn't as bad as everybody was expecting. But for the families that did have lost ones,
It is sad. Yeah.
sad. So I apologize for that. But for everybody else in the world, yeah, numbers are out. We know.
Me too. And I don't mean to sound insensitive, but for the ones that have passed away about it, because we did have a member, a family friend that was older gentleman that passed away from the coronavirus. And I let them, my sympathies and my condolences go to that family. Um, but I also know people that's died of the flu and cancer and heart disease and all this other stuff too
Yeah,
that are just as that are probably more at risk of dying of those kind of things. And the coronavirus is a virus. It's here. I mean, just like the flu's here. So there's
yeah,
just nothing we can do except just you shouldn't we shouldn't live in fear. I mean, if it's your time, it's your time. There's nothing we can do about it.
yep, yeah. But for everybody that is involved in deaths and has death in
Yes.
the family, right? You guys will be in my prayers.
Yes. Mine too.
You know, um, but
Absolutely. I don't want to sound insensitive because I do feel bad for those people. Yeah.
oh yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. But I mean, let's be real. Like, yeah, that is happening.
Yep.
But regardless that if that's happening or not, the social media is just blowing it way out of fucking proportion. The
Yep.
facts came out. Yeah, there is deaths. But social media is making it so much more than what it is,
Oh
and
yeah.
there's a lot of fun there, and social media is our biggest platform right now. So it's
Oh yeah.
making believers out of it, and it's instilling fear. And I mean, me personally, I don't have any fucking backing on this podcast for it. You can look it up yourself on Google. Google's amazing for that. But
Yep.
um, I mean, it's one of those things like, the government's trying to control by fear. And that's what I mean, my
I think
personal
so
opinion,
too. Absolutely.
and it's working for the most part for a lot of people. And
Yep. Testing the waters right now.
yeah, of course. So,
Testing the waters.
anyways,
Yeah.
so
So that's the way I seen it too. Absolutely.
yeah. So, anyways, this is from Bobby. Bobby, you're a good dude. So what Bobby did recently, we had the
I
Black Friday,
seen. Yeah. I seen
right?
that. Yeah.
So what Bobby did, for those of you that don't know, uh, we had a Black or Action Sledge, and I mean everybody had a Black Friday fucking release, but
Hmm.
um, for Action Sledge, supplements, American Made Nutrition supplements, and All American Roughneck. If you buy a certain amount or if you spend a certain amount, you get a gift, and it's like it stacks with the amount you buy. So that being said, one of the gifts for Axe and Sledge is a sweater, and it's black on or white lettering on black, and it's fitted, so it's it really forms to the wear to you. Depends on what size you wear, but it's like true size, Anyways, really nice sweater. But Bobby, I guess the size that he wanted wasn't available, and he got a size too big. So what he did was, hey, put in the comments that you want it if you need it, and at the end of what he said, 24 hours, I think.
24 hours, yep.
Yep, 24 hours. He's going to he's going to write down everybody's name that posted in there that they actually need it, and he's going to do a random pull out of the hat trick with a name, and that person gets the hoodie. So I saw that, and I mean, I don't know why, because it's like small things like that,
Yep.
Can, and it can inspire big. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. And I don't know if you've seen it, but it's been a domino effect. There's been other people doing
Yep.
it now.
Yeah, I
There's
saw
like multiple people's been doing it, and it's got me thinking, hey, maybe I need to do it with one of mine, because I got a pretty good collection on that release. So I was like, maybe I need to do one.
Well, I mean,
I don't know. We'll see.
And then what's crazy? I mean, it's just a small thing, and I you see it blow up like that, and
Yep.
like I mean, it's just you always hear stay humble, and stay kind, and build the positivity. That's what I'm talking about, Bobby. Like, good shit. I'm glad you did that. So.
Yeah.
And it's for those that had that had the same idea, or that took that idea and strived with it. Kudos to you guys too. It's a time where a lot of people are short on funds. It's Christmas is around the corner. You have birthdays, all that shit happening. Thanksgiving, obviously, you're spending a fuck ton of money on shit during Thanksgiving, but then Black Friday's right there with it, and I know that not a lot of people get what they want. So that right there is just a small kind gesture that's going to be a big thing for somebody.
And he's always doing that. He reached out to me and bought some Blue Freeze from me, just to support Demo Family. He says, he's just a damn good guy, man. He really is. And then it's just a little small circle. Me and him talk a lot. I think her name's Liz or something like that. She got him some hydraulics sent to him because he was going through some things at one time, and it's family, man. That's all I can say is just that family atmosphere. But Bobby is a damn good person, man, that everybody roots behind him 100%. I think he's just genuine and awesome.
Yeah, you see that
awesome guy.
You see that him and Nat Lyons, they've been battling the running.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Nat's question disappeared off of here, but yeah, Nat's something else, man.
Yeah, Nat. He's taking a break for a minute, but he'll be back.
Yeah, I seen that. Yeah.
Than ever,
Yeah, he will. I tell him I got faith in him.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people go through. I mean, life happens.
Yep.
Life happens, and it's just like the other guy that's not on right now. He posts every now and then. Fuck, why do I draw a blank on the name?
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
I'm just gonna. I'm gonna get myself in trouble.
Yeah, I think I know who you're talking about. Though.
I actually communicate with him, and I feel bad now, but because
the lion guy, he started up his own little thing or whatever.
Yeah. So, but I mean, there's a couple people, and life happens. But I mean, you know that we're all here for each other, and it's, like you said, it's a family environment, and it's pretty unique and rare when it comes to a company starting something like this. So. Anyways.
Yeah, so I think a lot of them leave and then end up wanting to come back. So, and I know when the Elite 8 first got announced, you've seen some people really throwing some shade, and I was like, man, that's kind of cold stuff, and I reached out to Dean and like, what can I do different? And that's when, I told you earlier in the podcast, Dean said, do this, you do these kind of things. So it lit a fire under me. But some people reacted in jealousy, but I think those people are coming back around now and wanting to be back with us. And yeah, it's,
Well,
it's, we're a great family here.
yeah, we are.
It's nothing like this out there that I know of, I've ever seen. And I think that's what keeps me fired up going too.
Yeah, yeah, no, definitely. And talking about the Elite Eight coming out, they're Elite Nine now, but when they first came
Yeah, the
out,
Elite Nine. Yeah.
yeah. But I mean, it's like everybody in that Elite Eight that got promoted. You know all their names. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you know
Yeah.
that they worked their ass off to get to that point, and kudos to them. I say that in
Absolutely.
every now and then when they're brought up, and that little situation's brought up, because there was a lot of fucking people that got salty and sour with it. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
And it's just like, you should. This is the first promotion with the demo crew, and it hasn't even been a year, and you had people quitting, you had people fucking throwing hands there. It's like, man, you should be great. You should be happy for these guys. It's their family, for one. For
Absolutely, man.
two, all of them. Okay, you search their name, and they're gonna have posts like at least every other fucking day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they
It's
post.
all positive, uplifting, nothing negative.
Yeah, but I mean, their names before they even got promoted, and as long, at least if
Yep.
you were in the demo crew, prior to that. But so
Yeah,
yeah,
John does his thing every Sunday. I haven't seen him doing it here lately as much as he used to, but every Sunday John Wilson was doing something. You know,
yeah,
every challenge needed to do something, and then Drew was always doing something, and Billy was always, Tony and um, Brooke, all of them, and then for Sierra, she's the newest one. But Sierra, man, she set herself apart, dude. She was killing it. She
yeah,
deserved it, and that's something that it's a goal of mine. I ain't gonna say it's not a goal of mine. It's a big goal of mine is to be part of the elite one day. But I always ask myself, how can I set myself apart? Because I think to be elite, you gotta set yourself apart. Uh, you just gotta be, always positive, always. But like Sierra, she just set herself apart, man. She
yeah,
was creative. The shit she did was awesome. She's just an awesome person. Um, yeah, the elite are just great people, man. All nine of them are just each every one of them are just great people, and
yeah.
I really appreciate everything they do because there's some days that I get in a dump and I look at them or Dean or Carly and I'm like, you know what? All right, shake this shit off and let's go.
It's time to put the fucking boots back on. Yep.
That's right, man. That's it.
All right.
So I'm just
So
glad to be part of the demo crew.
yeah, no, I agree. One day, all the I mean, it's everybody's goal, but I mean, regardless
Yep,
if I get it next time or not, I'm still gonna work my
yep,
ass off, and I'm still gonna be humble, and uh,
exactly. And
still,
be proud of the ones that got it.
yeah, because you know what, they're gonna deserve it just like these guys that have it now. So,
Yep, absolutely.
but all right. So next question from Bobby. What's the biggest obstacle you didn't let stop you from achieving your goals?
Uh, finances. Finances, man. Everybody will use money for an excuse not to go to the next level in life. You got to make the shit happen. One way or another, you got to make that shit happen. And besides finances, yourself. Sometimes you can be your own worst enemy when you don't mean to be your own worst enemy. Sometimes you stop yourself from thinking things because you start getting in your own head and be like, I'm not good enough or something. So I got out of my own way and I stopped using my finances for an excuse. And yeah, I don't have much now. If I took you on a tour of my shop, I've only got 3 shelves of product on it. But that goal of having, which I thought about bringing other companies in, but right now I'm like, I just want to be SLEDGE American Made Nutrition. That's it. Um, I got Fit Butters in here now, but that's not no conflict in company. I don't want to bring no other conflicting companies in because I don't want to damage my demo crew. Um, being part of the demo crew, I want to keep that. I love the people. So it's just finances, that I just didn't let it stop me. So I started little, and the little I got into it, I just keep turning back around, putting right back into the business. So we did have to make some sacrifices in the family. Me and my wife, we made sacrifices. We cut out some other things, sold some stuff to get where we are right now. So, but when I first started, I heard that guy on, the podcast with the guy with the suit company said, yeah, I only had this much money. And that's how it was. I was kind of like Seth. I had like, I think $2,700 was in my savings account. And we just got back from vacation to Cocoa Beach. And I'm like, I know it was before we went to Cocoa Beach. And we had a little bit more money before we went to Cocoa Beach. We hit Ron John's up. That almost killed us. But I was like, you know what? We're doing this, man. And so me and my wife decided to do it. And we put every dollar we had into it and getting the LLC license, getting the register systems, getting just the little things. It was like we didn't even have nothing. We was already broke and didn't have nothing in here. Still an empty store, no shelves, no nothing. I was like, well, shit, what are we gonna do now? So just had to go work harder and make some sacrifices. And yeah, we only got 3 shelves, but we plan on bringing in 3 more shelves, and then we plan on bringing in a TV for the back wall with some more shelves underneath the TV. So we plan on bringing in a lot more stuff um, and filling all the shelves with SLEDGE, American Made Nutrition, and just being just some good people that the community can come to. We still got a long ways to go. We still want to do a lot more, but yeah, finances was our biggest challenge,
Yeah.
our biggest obstacle, and we didn't let it stop us. So we just kept going.
Well, that's good. That's really good. Finance, it's a rough thing to get into. Like I said, I'm looking into opening up a gym, and one thing that I made a list of everything I need to start with before I even think about finances. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like building location, what's the census around the area? So what kind of people am I looking at? If is it by a high school that they play sports? Or am I going to have some high schoolers in there? Is it by is there a lot of senior citizens there? That is it going to be like, what kind of gym am I going to have there? What kind of community? Um, Anyways, it's just a lot of shit. And then that's before you even start. You got to make a
That's right.
plan. You got to make a plan, and like just any business that you're trying to open up, it's fucking expensive. So
Yeah, absolutely.
if you need to get a loan, that's going to take a plan, and not just going to fucking hand out a loan to anybody.
Yep.
Have your ducks in a row, and and then you got to think about how you're going to promote it before you even fucking start,
Yep.
before you open the doors. So there's a lot of shit.
It is. It is. And there's a lot more to it than I thought there was. I was like, hell yeah, I'm just gonna sell supplements. And I thought I was just gonna fill this place up with pay that $2,700 and buy all these supplements and brought in here. I didn't even get to use that $2,700 towards no supplements, man. It was just getting the overhead, the lights, the internet, just all the basic shit that you don't even think of. There's just so many things that, like you said, you did it the right way. You're doing, me and my wife, we just got so excited and gung ho, we just jumped into it. Really, me more than my wife. I kind of answered a little bit later, but I got gung ho and I was like, we got to do this, man. I really want to do this. I want to leave. I want something that we can have for our family. And now she's all about it. She at first she was so scared. She's like, why can't we just do this from home? And I probably should have started off at home, but when I found this building that the location is like not even 100 yards from the gym, I was like, dear, this is the perfect location. We don't have nothing like this around here. We need to go for it. And she stood behind me and gave me all the support in the world. And so now it's my duty not to fail my family. And
Yeah.
so, yeah, so it's got to get, it's got to make it. I have no choice but to make it. And I told her we're not going to see no turnaround on this business for at least 3 years. It's just for what we need to get to still, for the things that we want to offer our community. We still got a ways to go, but one day at a time is the only thing I can say. It's just one day at a time. We got the foundation put in place, so now it's just going from there, just building one building block at a time, and just stay the course and stay humble and don't get stressed out and don't get flustered and just keep going. Stay positive and just keep fighting and digging and working, and sooner or later we'll be there.
Yeah. Well, let's keep trucking along. It takes a while. I
Yes,
mean,
sir.
I can't really speak of business because I don't own one, but just looking into it and hearing how business owners, what they're saying. Um, yeah, it's always going to be a battle regardless who you are. But I mean, it's one of those things like when I open up a gym, do I want a small gym with only 5 people in it? No, I want a gym that has 30 people in it that go regularly and that I can become close with and help them out whenever they need it. But
Right.
am I going to have to start with a small gym with 5 people in it? Probably, most likely, and then I'm gonna have to build up on that. It's just like your 3 shelves that you have right now.
Yep.
You want the others? Well, start with 3 shelves, and once those shelves are getting emptied, it's like, oh, well, it's time to improve.
Yep.
So
That's the thing. I think a lot of people see the big picture and they want the big picture, but you got to start with the small picture. It starts with that plain sheet of paper, and
yep,
then it starts with those drawing lines. I mean, you don't have the artwork put in front of you all at one time. You gotta work your way to the picture. So, um, yeah, it's just one thing at a time, man. And then when I finally got to that point, that's when we started seeing a lot more. Because I wanted everything. I wanted full stock. I wanted back stock. I wanted my shipping area. I wanted everything 100% before I got open.
yeah,
And that, I realistically, that I wouldn't open for 2 more years. So yeah, it was. We got the 3 shelves, and I remember when me and my wife got the first shelf brought in here. We was excited, and then she went and got the 2 more shelves one day, and she's like, "I got the other two," and I was like, "Cool." So we came up here and built them. We're just the happiest people just having 3 shelves, and we got some used sales counters from a little feed store here in town, and they're kind of rough looking, but we're so happy to have those. And it was like, man, look at this, we're making strides. And so it's the little things, that and in this process of doing all this, seeing the smile on my wife's face, seeing my 7-year-old little girl happy that, hey, dad owns a business. At 7 years old, they don't see all the problems. They just think this is the coolest thing in the world. And to see my son, he's 18, and my 21-year-old daughter, I got a 24-year-old son. So all of them just doing this for them is what really makes it worth it to me. And
yeah.
there's not a dollar amount I could put on it to see the smile on their faces and to know that I'm going to leave them something one day. That's why I do this. So I can't fail. I have no option but to make this shit work.
Oh yeah, brother. Oh yeah. So, um, everybody that's watching or listening, uh, this podcast is always for everybody, anybody that with the backstory or just our goal is to motivate whoever needs to be motivated, whoever needs this story. Like Joey, you have a hell of a backstory, how you grew up and how you got out of that and brought your family, somewhere else so you can grow as a better father and what you're doing with your company and everything. And anyways, our goal is to reach that one person that actually needs it. That one person that actually needs that, and it's going to change their life for the better. So that being said, I'm not going to put any ads on this podcast. I'm not going to, so you have to listen to like 10 minutes of bullshit at the beginning or in the middle or at the end. Um, but what I am going to ask is share this podcast, subscribe, like it, go to YouTube, subscribe to the channel. That's how we grow. And that's how we get this podcast out there. If you know anybody that is kind of going through the same thing that Joey went through, and that needs a little bit of inspiration, or someone that's starting up a supplement company and, is down in their luck right now and needs a little bit of inspiration or some insight, give this a share. Get a hold of Joey. You got Instagram, Facebook. What's your Instagram handle?
Joey B underscore 1979.
There you go. So go to, if you have an Instagram, give them a follow. You give us a follow, but share the fuck out of this podcast. Um, but do you have anything for the listeners, Joey?
Um, just thank you guys. Again, I know I've said it enough through the podcast, but to everybody in the Action Sledge community, the demo crew, I love you guys. I thank you. Y'all are saying I could be an inspiration to you, but you guys inspire me each and every day. The Elite Nine, I thank you guys for everything that you guys do each and every day. Man, you guys are a big part of our family with the Action Sledge and American Made Nutrition family. You guys do so much more than you probably guys realize you do. Carly and Dean, thank you guys. 4DH, of course, I got to thank them for being just the damn best bosses out there in the world. You know, these guys are great. But Steve and Dante, thank you guys for the platforms y'all present for us demo crew members to speak on. It's just awesome, man, and all the tagging that we do with each other. Bobby, everybody, just the positivity, that family atmosphere, man. I just want to thank everybody for being just good motherfuckers, man, good people, and it just drives me each and every day to be a good person along with you guys. So thank you for everything you guys do.
Well, we appreciate you, brother. And I mean, you're growing. We could anybody that's been on the demo crew for a while and been on that page and everything. We could see who grows and who's striving and who's succeeding. And you're one of those guys. You know what I mean?
I
Like,
appreciate it.
but anyways, so Joey, I appreciate you coming on. I really do.
Yes, sir.
To everybody that's listening, God bless. Stay humble. It's tough times
Absolutely.
here now, and yeah, just keep killing life. Kick life in the dick, like Seth says.
Yep.
But
Yes, sir.
love y'all.
Yep.